10:29. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Murti Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So today we continue our reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute, or the Vibhuti Yoga. And today's verse is verse number 29. So let's read the verse and translation and purport. Anantaschasmi naganam varuno yadasam aham pitrunam aryama chasmi yamaha sam yamaha. Translation. Of the many-hood Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the Aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. Purport. Among the many-hooded Naga serpents, Ananta is the greatest, as is the demigod Varuna among the Aquatics. They both represent Krishna. There is also planet of Pita's ancestors presided over by Arya, who represent Krishna. There are many living entities who give punishment to miscreants, and among them Yama is the chief. Yama is situated in the planet near this earthly planet. After death, those who are very sinful are taken there, and Yama arranges different kinds of punishment for them. So, here again we see there are 4 opulences in this shloka. Yesterday we talked about snake or sarpa, who was Vasuki, right? So, Vasuki is only one head. And now we are talking about Naga. So Naga has hood and multiple hoods. So that's why they are called Naga. And Sarpa or snake, they not always have the hood. And Naga is also auspicious, right? We just now, last week, we celebrated Nag Panchami, on which the Nag is worshipped as a god, because they are auspicious. Why they are auspicious? Because Vishnu resides in Milk Ocean on Ananta Shesha, a Naga with multiple hoods, the same Ananta. The another expansion of Naga or Ananta is description is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 25, where there is a chapter about glorification of Anantadev, where it is mentioned that the Anantadev has 1,000 hoods, unlimited hoods. On hoods of each hood there is one universe, and it looks very small on his hood. And he also has duty at the end of the dissolution or of the universe. He supports Lord Shiva for finishing this universal manifestation. And his Naga is, because he is always associated with Vishnu, and Vishnu has him as his bed, resting bed. And also Naga, there is story of Krishna and Kaliya, Naga, right? So multiple hood. And so Naga, though he was in animal or Naga body, Krishna put his feet on his hood and he danced. So we cannot understand how come a Nag who was poisonous, but still he got association of Krishna, right? So all these three, four uh, pastimes or qualifications are surprising or astonishing for us to understand, but that are specified in Bhagavatam. That's why Ananta is representation of the greatness of Ananta Dev. And that's why he is a representation of Krishna. The second part is Varuno Yadasam Aham. So Yadasam means the aquatics. And Varuna is the lord of the sea or ocean. So that's why he is compared to Krishna, or his opulence is a representation of Krishna, because any normal sea also we see many people have attraction for the sea, right? What is underneath the sea, how much is the depth, there is a whole different world under the sea. And in pastime of Krishna also we see when Nanda Maharaj went to take bath in Yamuna, then Varuna Dev came when the naga or a snake covered his body. So there also the story of Varuna is there in Krishna's pastime also. And so he is associating with Krishna. He is representation of Krishna's energy. And there are many big fish also, right, in the sea. And nobody knows how much big. Nowadays we find many news, right? Big, very huge, big, or a whale washed to the beach, or some news are coming like this, right? And the size of those fishes are so big, we cannot imagine like such type of fish are there. Okay, those fish are there and they are living in the sea, so we can imagine how much is the mystery of the sea and its depth. And Varuna, who is controller of the sea and this aquatics, so he has special powers and strength given by Vishnu to control all these aquatics and sea. That's why his presentation of Krishna. And Krishna says that this is my opulence, one of my opulence. The third one is Pitranam Aryama Chashmi. So Pitra. So Pitra means our Pitranam, here the translation is ancestors. So our ancestors who live in Pitraloka. So Pitraloka is also called, there are heavenly planets and there are semi-heavenly planets. So Pitraloka is one of that semi-heavenly planets, because the people who have done pious activities in the life, normal pious activities, those are expected from human being. After death, they go to this Pitraloka for some time to enjoy based on their pious activities. And those who have done above and average pious activities and helped in the spreading of Vishnu's or Krishna's pastimes and all, they have done very good piety, so they directly go to heaven. So ancestors, some ancestors go to Pitra and they live there. So we all know who that after our death of our parents or our ancestors, every year we do in Pitru Paksha we have, right, when we do special puja for these Pitras. So this is done to satisfy or as an offering to this our ancestors. And generally people ask these questions like, I prepare some good food or prasadam and offer to them, or I give them to Brahman, I give them to cow, and it's also we give it to dog also. So we give this food to these different creatures. So how this reaches our ancestors? Because by doing these rituals, our ancestors get energy and they become happy and they bless us. So that is the purpose behind all these rituals that we are been doing in most of the countries. In India, we have the direct rituals. In other countries, there are also times when people give donations to the church or to the good active pious activities, and they say like, this is for my uh, passed out mother or father or uncle. So even if they don't give directly food, but they give money. So this practice is everywhere. So when we give this help, or in India we give to Brahman, when the Brahman takes that food, or the cow eats that food, or the dog eats that food, then that soul of that person gets happiness or satisfaction. And the energy created by this satisfaction, or the from the cow or the dog, that energy is transferred to this Pitraluka, to our ancestors, and then they bless us. And Aryama is one of the name of sun, and he is the ruler of this Pitraloka. So that's why his opulence is where he is maintaining all these pitras, and taking care that the ancestors and we have a link. So it's a big opulence, or energy that binds all these activities. So that's why Krishna says, I am that Aryama, or presentation of that opulence. Okay, the fourth part is Yama. We all know Yama. Generally, everybody has heard of Yamraj, the Lord of the Death. So one thing that we all fear, uh, visibly or invisibly, is death, right? And death is one of the punishment for living entities, that we have to die. That is one of the truth that we cannot deny, right? So people ask, what is fixed in this material world that never changes? What is that thing? Then this is the answer. The death is the fixed thing. It never changes. Everybody has to die, right? So we have fear of death. And Yamaraj, staying in the Patal Loka, he is young, one of the Mahajans. So who is Mahajan? Mahajan is the devotee who lives by pure devotional service, and who propagates the devotional service also. So, what is his opulence? He has a difficult job of doing justice to the sinful people who are taken to him, and then he has to judge and he has to punish. And the punishments are in such a way that particular soul understands understands the lesson from that punishment. So when the soul takes the next birth, he will not do the same mistake again. So it's a big difficult task to give such a punishment where the person or his way of thinking will change, but Yamaraj is doing that task. So it's not an easy task. And in Bhagavatam, and Prahlad Maharaj clearly states that Yamaraj tells that there are 12 Mahajans and he is one of them. So he is also teacher of the devotional service. So he is living in a situation where there are always sinful people coming, and he is surrounded by all these people, but still he is doing the pure devotional service. So this is the uh, if you imagine, we generally say like, I have so many problems, and how I can do my bhakti. I have to do work, I have to do all these things, and there is no one here. But if we see at the Yamaraj example or Prahlad Maharaj example, they are the pure devotees of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. So this fact itself is a surprising fact, and wherever there is surprising, there is attraction. So we get attraction to Yamraj, how he does bhakti. We get attraction to Ananta Dev, how this Naga is so big. We get attraction for Varuna, how he is managing all the seas. Yeah, and how Aryama is powerful, and he's taking care of our ancestors and giving them the results of their pious activities. So all these facts itself give us a surprise, and so we get attracted to all these um, personalities. So this attraction to these personalities is opulence of Krishna. That's why Krishna says, I am representation of these personalities in the material world. And this is how Arjuna, you can remember me always. When you think of these people, you think of Naga, or you think of sea, or you think of your ancestors, then you are connecting somehow or other with Vishnu, because they are presiding by the opulence or the personalities who are direct representation of Krishna. So, just few realizations or points from my side. If anybody wants to add or share something that they have heard or they will help others, please feel free to share.
Do you have picture of Ananta Shesha holding the universe?
Yeah, we can search.
Can we share now?
Yeah, now difficult, but we can check and send on the group. Bhagavatam, we have to see. The description I know, Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 25.
Yama is whose son is who is Yama's father?
Yama Raj's father is. I will check.
Sister is Yamuna Devi.
Yamuna. So Yamaraj's father I knew. I am not recalling, but I will check and we can send on the group.
So it says that whoever bath in the Yamuna's river, they will not see the face of Yamaraj, right?
No, that is when on that particular there is yearly one festival in Mathura. Because there is only one temple of Yamuna Devi or Yamaraj in Mathura somewhere. On that particular day, there is some special day when you take bath in Yamuna, then you will not see Yamaraj, because that is something between brother and sister. So Yamraj and Yamuna, they meet on that day. So on that day, if you take bath,
Raksha Bandhan, I think.
Yeah, on that day, if you take bath in Yamuna, in Mathura, then you will not see Yamraj, because Yamuna Devi will bless you. And she will bless you that my brother will not trouble you. So
Bandhan, I think.
Maybe, yeah. So if you don't see Yamraj, that means you see Devdut or Vishnu Dut. So you will be going to the higher planets. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हाँ बोलिए. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, it's related to your spiritual name is Anand Gaurang Das. So is there some connection related to Anand Dev or something in this?
You have to ask my
Hare Krishna.
Ananta means one of the meaning of Ananta is unlimited, right?
Okay.
So Yamaraj is son of sun god, Surya. Okay.
Sun god.
So Ananta's one meaning is unlimited.
Okay.
Maybe the connection.
Okay. Thank you. I was a little curious.
Yeah. So,
listening this shlok. So thank you, Hare Krishna.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining today again, and we will try to keep going every day, because it helps me also a lot when we read together and discuss about Krishna. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Care.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.